What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about a very special series that I'm going to be working on right now. Starting today, I'm going to be calling this series Building the M. Now, I call it Building the M because I'm not rebuilding. There's nothing physically, it's not like a damaged car. I'm not, putting together the fenders, and it's not like from a collision. I'm not rebuilding the motor or anything like that. The car runs great. Cosmetically, it's okay. So I'm actually going to be calling this series Building the M because I want to start making it a little bit more the way that I want it. Maybe some mods, cleaning it up a little bit, adding a couple things just to flare it up. So I'm going to be calling it Building the M, and starting today, I want to talk a little bit about the car, what I got, and most importantly, what I have in plans that are stored for it. So let's get started. So first things first, I have a 2008 BMW M3. Now, the car was originally Interlagos blue. It was repainted Santorini blue. As you saw, some of you might even recognize the car. Like I said, it was my buddy Jay's car. So it had a bunch of mods on it. It was supercharged. It had big brake kit. It had a huge spoiler, and the list goes on. Now, thankfully, I have some of the things still on here. Some of the things that I personally wanted, like the headlights are already modded. They have the blackout. They're from OSS. They were modded and had everything done. So the steering wheel is still on here, as you can see right here, and as you probably saw before. Let me go ahead and show you. It has all the cool things that you would always want. You've got all the little things it'll go through, which is really cool. So you can go ahead and just toggle through all these things, and has the different menus. It has the RPM, light. So it's really cool. And on top of all of that, it has the BBS wheels that are on here. Now, they are gorgeous. I just cleaned them up the other day, and I didn't know they had this color, but the barrel around the face had like this kind of like a almost black bronze metallic look. So it was really cool. I thought they were just black because they were so dirty, but so anyways, we got it all cleaned up, and it looks spot on clean right now. My boy Lalo down in Tacoma, hit him up. He's got a business that runs detailing all the way here in Seattle and all the way down in Central California. I'll put his information below, but hit him up if you need a detail. His main goal is that he wanted it really cheap, affordable to everyone. So you got California prices, which is really competitive even up here in Seattle. So hit him up if you need detail. Now, it's got the white leather, like I already said to you guys. I've already got some things coming in. We're gonna go ahead and dye this all red, so it's gonna be really nice. Carpet's all clean. This is all really, pretty much spotless now. The Alcantara is a little worn on the steering wheel, but the steering wheel is the only part that matters anyways. So we've got the CICI drive. So this was retrofitted in, so I'm really happy this is on here. So it's like having a 2011 because it has this, it has the LCI tails, so we've got all this already, hooked up in there. So it's really nice. It's got the backup and PDC sensors. Steering wheel has a carbon fiber trim on here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start with some, small mods. I'm gonna go ahead and do like the start button, the M button, the gauges. I think I'm gonna keep the steering wheel. I like the steering wheel just because it has this. I've never had this before, and it's really interesting just to like really mess with it. So I think it's pretty neat. And then I do need to replace a couple things. Some of these buttons are getting sticky. Not a big deal, but it's gonna bother me, and I want this thing to look pretty much brand new and perfect. So I've gotten a lot of questions about mileage. All right, so truth be told, it has 127,000 miles. So I'm gonna say it has 127,000 miles young because rod bearings are done, throttle actuators are done, everything's done. So it's actually running really strong, so I'm very happy for that. It has the carbon fiber paddle shifters. I'm gonna swap these out for mine. I'm gonna do the belay style, so that will be changed out shortly. All right, so first thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna go ahead and install the spoiler on here. So then we're gonna do the V2 spoiler. That's gonna go on the back. I already cleaned it up. I'm gonna show you the exterior, how clean it is. It looks spotless, it looks really good. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on, and then we're gonna go ahead and do some of the other stuff on the inside. We're gonna do some of the buttons, and I'll kind of give you a DIY real quick, just because I've never done it before and have a lot of questions on how do I install the start button, how do I take off the trim, how do I do the paddles, how do I do the M button. I'll show you everything today. And before I go further, I want you guys to comment below. I want you guys to tell me, because I'm doing this build because I want to, but most importantly because I want to share it with you guys, and I want to do things that you guys want to see. So comment below, tell me what you want to see. Do you want me to do a specific brand exhaust? Do you want me to do certain wheels? Whatever it is, let me know. I'm really curious to know what you guys want, because I want this to be like a build that we do together, and it's simply going to be something that I show to everyone, and most importantly, something that I think it's gonna influence a lot of people. So comment below, what kind of mods would you do if you had this car? Tell me right now, and then I'll go ahead and make a video, and in this series start modding the car. So I think next, after this video, I'm gonna start doing like the obviously the seats. You already saw that. I'm gonna be dyeing the seats fox red. I'm actually gonna be doing that car here. That's gonna be coral red. So a lot of questions on, does it work on black seats? We're gonna test it out. So spoiler today, we're gonna do some of the interior things as well. We'll do the, you know, small things, grills. I'm gonna swap out the wheels eventually. I'm gonna do an exhaust. I'm gonna do some things here and there. So let's get started. And before I forget, dude, check these out. So these are the new, I'm gonna call them V3. So this is the V3 side skirts. So it only works for the E92 with the M3 style side skirts. And I guess you could do the M side skirt. They're different, by the way, but you can see here, it follows the line of the side skirt. So I had someone comment like, oh, why are your side skirts all screwed up? Like, it looks choppy. No, it's because, look at this. Check it, follows a line through the side skirt, because it comes out here, comes in here, so it follows that. And on top of that, you got this little fin, giving it a little bit more of an aggressive appeal. So keep out and look up for that. That's going to be coming here soon, so I'm just testing. I just put it on yesterday. Alright, so installing the support is quite easy. First thing you have to do is clean off the back of the trunk. So everything from the surface and everything has to be cleaned off. You want it dry, you want it fairly room temperature, so you don't want it too cold. And to combat that, all I do is just apply a light heat gun just to keep it fairly warm, so that way this can all just be pretty nice. And so here is the spoiler. You can see it's flat on the bottom, so that this will come in contact and come all the way through the edge, and all the way through the edge here. In this case, yeah, I've got some holes, and we're gonna go ahead and plug that eventually, but you'll see that this will just come in contact flush with the corner. All right, we're gonna go ahead and apply some tape. 3M double-sided is recommended. You can use any width as long as you have enough surface area covered. You want to go all the way through the edge, all the way to the outside. And I would wipe down this as well, just to make sure that it has complete contact on both ends with the spoiler and the trunk. All right, boom, here we go. So this is the finished product of me putting on 3M double-sided tape. As you can see here, I just did 4 rows all the way down. All right, and then I throw in a tad bit of heat. We're gonna go ahead and just put this on real quick. All right, so I put that on. Fitment is perfect, as you can see, all the way across. No gaps whatsoever. All right, so there's the finished product. All right, so I know a lot of you guys are going to talk about all these leftover residue. I got basically a lot of time now to go ahead and take all this stuff off, so I've been working on it. As you can see, there's some residue here. I'm going to get some Goo Gone, some heat, a little bit of alcohol, and just take off the rest. Same with the front bumper. Not a big deal, but it's just really time consuming, and I didn't want to really do that. All right, now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and work on the interior real quick. Just a few things that I want to go ahead and spice up for this video, just so I can show you guys, and then we'll finish it up there. So I need a new plate name, so also if you guys want to comment below what you guys think, give me an idea. I'm thinking of doing like eco mode, or like something, I don't know, something clever, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. As you can see, we've got a couple yellow things going on, so that's the theme that I think is going to go on this car. We're going to go ahead and do the Santorini blue on yellow. So I'm going to do an install for you today, just to kind of get it out of the way, because I know I had a lot of people who have always asked me to do a DIY on all these simple things. So I'm going to put it all into one video and compile it right now, walk you through it so that we can do it. All right, and as you can see, the interior's been cleaned up quite a bit. So I've replaced this button because these were broken, so now they work. We're gonna go ahead and do some of these other things here, as you can see, so it's been cleaned up. And I did test, as you can see, and I've finally done it successfully. First attempt, and it looks great. We've got the Fox Red headrest here. So I went on ahead and just tried it out. I wanted to see how it turned out, how it felt, the finished product, and I cannot say enough that this looks more than genuine. You can see the finish, the texture, it looks spot on. The color's good, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a DIY for you guys soon. Be on the lookout. All these seats, door trim, the rear, everything's gonna be done. I'm gonna eventually be doing like the seat belts. I'll do the clusters. You've already seen that, but trim, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna rechange the entire car and make it look really nice for you guys. All right, so the next item on our list, we're gonna go ahead and do these buttons. They're really easy, really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do them real quick. For this video, I'm gonna be doing this start button. You can see here, there's a difference between this one here and this one here. So this is like the LCI version, this is like the pre-LCI version, this is just a used one that I had laying around, so I'm just going to swap it real quick. And that way it gives a little bit more of an LCI updated look. Alright, so you're going to have to forgive me for making this a little bit difficult myself, but I have only got 2 hands right now, and I've ordered some things so that I can make it easier for myself, but for now we're going to go ahead and kind of just do a quick rundown on how to do it, and I'll walk you through it. Alright, so to do this properly, all you're going to need is a couple simple tools. Something like a pry tool. In this case, just because this is more common for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cover it with a microfiber cloth so I don't scratch anything. Just like that here. You want to go ahead and pry these two apart. So the trim and this plastic leather piece here. All right, and then once again, be very careful so you don't scratch. You know, if you've got carbon trim like this or something, you don't want to go ahead and ruin it. So get a little pry in there, and once it makes enough room, you can go ahead and use your finger and just pull the rest. So just like that, and then just pull it. There you go. Now this is the tricky part. You can either go ahead and continue to pull the rest of the trim out if you want. Be careful, there is a wire here and a wire behind a vent. Actually 2 wires behind the vent, so what we're gonna do is, I don't need to do so I'm just gonna disconnect just the start button one. And then for this next piece, you have to go ahead and pinch this surrounding out. Now you're going to pinch it this way, if that makes sense. So left to right, pinch it inward, and this will pop out. You can squeeze it out. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but it should be pretty easy. And there you have it. Alright, so now that this is out, this is where it gets pretty easy. This literally just pops off. So let me show you that real quick. So all you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and just take your fingers and just pull this apart. You'll hear a few clicks, just go around it, and that should just pop off like that. So what you're going to do is, depending if you want to keep this or not, you're going to go ahead and use a small pry tool, or in this case I'll use a flathead because I'm not going to keep it, and you just go ahead and pop this out just like so. So you can go ahead and get under it and then just, and do be careful because sometimes it will just fly out. So put your finger over it and then just set it free. Just like that. And then all you do is go ahead and take the replacement start button, and then you just go ahead and press it in. Make sure you level it evenly, just like so. And then just press it in, you'll hear some clicks. And there you are. And then you go ahead and take your surround, put it back on, click that in, and you're good to go. And then you just go ahead and plug this back in, you're all set. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is kind of like a 3-for-1. We're going to change the M button to a colored M button, which then will also kind of allow us to get the paddles to be swapped, and then take off the cover for those people who are purchasing my cover. Actually, for 4-for-1. So if you want to also know how to take out the steering wheel, I'll go ahead and show you how to do all of that right here, right now. So depending on what you want to do for the job, if you want to go ahead and do some of the simpler ones, you're going to need a flathead for all of them, and in most cases, you're probably going to need one of these torque bits that look like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and disconnect the airbag from the vehicle. Now you can do this with the car battery disconnected or not. I choose not to typically, just because I've done this several times and I've never had an issue, and I know it won't release the airbag. So we're gonna go ahead and take this flathead that you see in front of me, and then on the side of each steering wheel on the E9X, you won't see it easily, it's quite faint, but you can see right here, there's a slit. You take the flathead, you insert it straight inward, and then you go ahead and poke out the airbag on each side. So I've got it inserted on the right side. As you'll see, I'll go ahead and push it inward. You'll find this groove that it just slides into, and then if you depress on it, you'll see this airbag pop out just like that. So now you're gonna wanna go ahead and do it to both sides, and then you'll hear a click, and you'll be able to pull this out. And then don't pull too far ahead. You've got 2 clips here, which are really easy to remove. Just go ahead and take your flathead, and then all you need to do is just unplug these pins. And here is exactly how it's done. There's a piece here that has a black cover. Just very lightly pull that up, as so. Same thing with this one. Just very lightly. And that will release the clips. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and then pull off the airbag. Voila. Now depending on what you want to do here, you've got a lot of options. You can go ahead and take off the steering wheel, which I'm not going to do today, but I will explain to you in 15 seconds exactly how to do so. You pull out number 1, number 2, and these just pull out, nothing more, so they just pull outward. And then you take this big bolt out. I think this is like a, if I had to remember, it was like a 20, maybe like a 23 or a 22 or something like that, but it's a pretty big bolt. And once you unscrew this, your steering wheel literally comes out. Done. For the paddles, what we are gonna do today, we're gonna go ahead and remove one bolt, and then you have to unplug it from these side buttons here and here, and these will come right out. So let's go and do that. Again, just using a torque bit, just unscrew it. Same with the other side. And because we are going to be removing this cover for the M button, I'll go ahead and show you how to do that real quick too. You can do it with the steering wheel on or off. It's easier if you take the steering wheel off, but you can easily accomplish it with the steering wheel on. So after the paddles have been disconnected, as you can see on both sides, you can go ahead and reach around the back of the steering wheel, and you'll notice, you might be able to see that there is a hole right here. So you'll have one on each side, left and right, and then one at the bottom here. Using the same torque bit, you can go ahead and unplug those, and your trim will pop right out. Alright, so it takes a little bit of finesse, but once you get back there, you'll feel the groove, you'll be able to pull it out. 2 little knots that you just pull out, and then this will just come right out. And then you'll see here where the paddles are connected to. So this will just unplug, and then the paddle will come right out. Alright, so there you have that. And you easily saw how this came out, so that's easily replaced. And then the steering wheel, which is left bare. Alright, so let's go ahead and install the new M button and install the new paddles in the M3. Alright, just for the sake of convenience, we'll start with the M button. So there are 4 little clips on each side. And when I say little, I mean they're little. So you can see the little things here. And this is where it gets just a little difficult. Not because it's hard to do, but because things might fly at you. So let's go ahead and be very clear and definite about how to do this. Alright, so per usual, you want to go ahead and start with a flathead. And then you want to go ahead and take this and wedge it in between all the corners so that this literally is just lifted on each side. So you can pull this out slowly rather than, you know, pulling it out and flipping it over. You just want to go ahead and slide it out because these buttons will be laid downward so things don't fall out, okay? Alright, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and pulled everything out. I'm just going to slowly lift it up. And you'll see things are coming out of here. You've got a chip set here. So you want to leave the rubber grommet on that so that nothing on the chip is not needed or touched or whatever it is. So we're going to go ahead and just leave this out. In here, you'll see that there are the buttons and a lot of other small little pieces that could, like I said, fly out at you. So you want to be careful, leave that as is. Just take out the button that you need, which is, if you're looking at it from top to bottom, the top one. Remove that. In this case, this is the M button. And then what you want to do is you will go ahead and take the replacement M button and put it back in its place, just like that. So then what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to go ahead and carefully and just take this piece and slightly overlay it right back on top. And then once you go ahead and do that, click everything in place. Just like so. So now what's next is we're going to go ahead and do the paddle install. This is going to be on an M3. So if you do have a 335 or a 328, you will be required to have the paddle adapter kit, which can be found on my website. But for the sake of just the paddle itself, here's how that works. You'll find some small clips on the side that will remove the front cover off. So we'll go ahead and just do that real quick. Once you're done with that, you'll go ahead and take this top cover off, which are also held by a few clips. You'll see that this will come out pretty easily. And now what you will want to do is you will want to go ahead and remove this pin here. So what I will do is you can go ahead and push this bottom pin in just a little bit, which will give it a little gap in the top, and enough for you to pull it out. Now you want to be careful with the second procedure here, or the next step I should say, because there is a ball and a spring that is held inside here, which in this case you can pretty much see there is a spring right there at the tip of this, that is, and the ball that is currently lodged in here. So don't lose the ball, but be very careful because you want to go ahead and just remove this screw here. This should just wiggle out like so. Go ahead and grab your replacement and attach it so. Put the screw back in and you're good to go. And a quick note to yourself, if you do lose the little ball or happen to find it falling out, as you can see in there, if it does, just go ahead and place it back in and tuck it right in that little corner, no problem. And same thing with the spring. If this spring does end up coming out, just go ahead and put it right back in. And then once you reverse everything, you will see that it all just comes right back together just like that. And then you do it on both sides and you're done. And just like that, you reverse everything back together. And look how beautiful that turned out. You got all your accent colors. You can replace the trim. Everything's all done. Alright, now we're going to do one quick fun one. We're going to install these scoops. Should only take 10 minutes. Pop the hood. Open the hood. You're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are what you're going to remove. And then if you really want, you can remove this and this and the grills. So that's pretty easy. As you can see here, torque bit. You're going to need to pry that one. This is also kind of like a torque bit as well. And these grills just have clips, usually around 3 and then 1 and then 2. So, alright, really not much to getting these out. Just the same torque bit that you saw earlier is going to work on this. This one's a little bit bigger. I think it's like a T20. So that's what that is for those. And then I always get questions on how to take this one out. So here's a pry tool, crowbar kind of looking thing. It's got grooves in the edges. Lay it down and just pry it up. As you can see, it just pulls right out of there. Alright, everything's out. Installing these are not too tricky, but they are very hard to understand for some people. So you do not slide them through here. They don't go in that hole. They go from the under and they come up. Does that make sense? You don't put them in through here. They go through where the grill is or between this bumper area and they come up. And then you put them into the subjective or the respective places. 1, And as you can see for the other one, 1. Alrighty. And you'll find, like always, the entire process is reversed. You put everything back in, screw everything back up, and you are left with massive, beautiful scoops. And that is all the time that we have today for this episode of Building the M3. Stay tuned because I've already talked to some body shops. We're going to go ahead and do some cool things coming up on both the M3 and the Theory series. As you might be able to see right here, there is one thing that's quite large, carbon fiber, and has a tremendous amount of downforce that's going to be going on one of the cars. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of cool things coming up. And more importantly, for you guys, subscribe, hit that like button. Don't forget to comment below. And if you guys want some My Tomorrow merch, let me know. Link is in the bottom. Go ahead and purchase it. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.